Lovely, folks. Lovely. Come on. Let's get some people in the live here. Good morning. Good morning. I'll give you a little minute before you actually join me, and then we will start hard at the heels. So, we're looking for this wonderful opportunity here today, folks, to get a move on, as we call it, a serious move on. Great. Lovely. Well, general elections have been announced and the guessing game is over. Thursday, 23rd June will be the day. I have been telling you, folks, for weeks now, take elections seriously. Take elections seriously. Quite a few of you think or thought might have been joking. But this obviously includes getting registered and weighing the programs of both major parties and making a wise decision so that you can be the change you want to see. Yet for all, so many of you got caught with your pants down and having to flood out the various electoral sub-offices throughout the length and breadth of Grenada. Our last-minute way of life has got to stop. It has never served us in the past, and it will not serve us in the present. And well, don't talk about the future. Forget that. That move to announce the date for elections, with 1 day left before the writs are issued to close off registration of voters, is a move that is steeped in consistency. The consistency of one who lacks integrity. This could have been anticipated, as with the popularity of the new leader of the main opposition growing exponentially, all stops had to be pulled in an attempt to stem the tide. Enough said on that. So those who are already registered, and those who finally got registered in the excitement of Monday, 16th May, the next thing left for you to do is to look at the programs of both political parties and support the one that speaks to sustainability, the one that focuses on your children and their children, the one that speaks to shoring up our national independence through state-of-the-art healthcare, fit-for-purpose education of our people, the one that speaks to putting our people to work again and giving them a sense of pride in self, the one that seeks to end suffering, in other words. Now, even without the date being called, we could have noticed that the campaign period had been heating up. I am pleasantly surprised that the mudslinging is not as terrible as on previous occasions. That is encouraging indeed. But then again, without a date to work with, this was to be expected. But fortunes in that direction have started to change since the date was announced. Interestingly, this is coming from the spirited supporters of both major camps, who insist on trolling each other's social media activities and hurling insults at each other. For the most part, the contestants, or better put, candidates of both major parties, need to take a bow thus far for not getting sucked into that tirade. But with 36 more days to go before the polls, maybe it is early days yet for the candidates. The electorate would be best guided by the substance of the campaign and weigh their value with an even hand and choose the organization and/or individual candidates on the basis of their realistic plans for the reconstruction and development, I dare say, of the various constituencies which, as a collective, will push Grenada forward to where it really belongs in the 21st century. We have been hearing of plans by the main opposition for health care for all. And the intention to launch a plan once elected to educate our people on eating healthy foods as guided by the Food and Nutrition Council to support the wellness of the population. They also expressed an interest in changing the landscape of our hospital facilities. And that would be done in the short term, and making them sustainable through the development of proper and adequate hospital facilities throughout the Tri-Island state. We've been hearing of plans for a total refocusing of our curriculum in order to make our education a right fit for our national development direction. We've also heard of plans to restore the rights of workers to their pension as declared by the courts, the Supreme Court of this country, an independent yet co-equal arm of government. And I've even heard of the benefits this will bring to the national economy and the recipients, of course, in themselves. As per usual, we have been hearing of all sorts of wonderful ideas that are geared towards getting our people back to work and putting them on track with thinking once again, thus equipping them to play their meaningful roles in nation building. But as we ready ourselves, we must take one thing into consideration and allow that to fuel us into meaningful participation. Since you cannot get what you were not looking for, you need to put your mind to it and seriously evaluate all the parties and or groups of people offering themselves for public office and make meaningful choices that would contribute to a society free from fear, where all your constitutional rights would be guaranteed. You need to return Grenada to a place that it used to be, when all people used to share in the national pie, and not just supporters of any sitting administration, especially from 1995 to the present. It is time for us to break this curse. The only how we can do this is to participate actively in the elections and remain awake to hold the feet of our leaders to the fire for deliveries. Stop voting or not voting and then retreating into the comfort of your homes and taking the hands-off approach to your responsibility to hold elected representatives to account. I want you to remember something, folks. Bad governments are usually elected by good people who do not vote. Remember, lots of people died for this right that you have today, which many take for granted and are squandering. Do not allow your standard to meet any selfish cravings that you may have, for fear that you end up eating a food, getting a concrete path to your house, or even a crab hole that you have in your yard. Stop the practice of taking gifts of wood, galvanized t-shirt and $20 or $50 in it. And after you cast your vote, you continue to suffer until the next time around. I just want to give you a gentle reminder. The next time around could very well be 4 to 5 more years. Can you really withstand that period of suffering? I tend to like to source everything to do with our actions back to our upbringing. If you are a person with a sound background from childhood, you ought to evolve into a sound adult, one who can contribute meaningfully to the development of society as a whole. People take on responsibilities as a result of the influence of their parents, family members, and others close to them, such as friends and teachers. Obligations such as helping with household chores, taking care of younger children, obeying family rules. These are typical responsibilities for many young people. Families also can pass to their children religious and moral beliefs that call for the performance of certain duties. But folks, when you have a child who was not brought up in such environments, where order was pivotal to the success of the parts involved, you eventually can have on your hands a deviant adult when fully mature. Put such poorly socialized, poorly brought up individuals near the precincts of management or leadership of anything, far less a country's affairs. And what do you have? None of you have to go too far to see, as the examples are right before your very eyes, causing you to suffer big times. That is the price you pay when you select people who have not been brought up properly, who have poor upbringing. No business employs a known thief and scoundrel to safeguard its interest and expect it to remain at the same level or even prosper and grow under his or her hands. So do not continue to allow your choice to have the effect of putting a cat to watch cheese or freshly cut jacks. Weigh your value with an even hand and make an objective choice, as you will be consciously safeguarding your children's future. So when the time comes, take elections seriously. Your vote is a vote to put Grenada on track with integrity, law, and order. My next episode of this is going to be pregnant with some thoughts on corruption, because we're going to get hotter as we go down, because you have to make informed decisions. Your time is coming, and all this thing about sentiments, about going with this person, and I like this person, and I like that. Watch that. Watch it, folks. Watch it. Okay, so take care of your wonderful selves today. Until next time. And very soon this week, you'll get the other edition, the 115th edition of Edification. So keep tuned. All right. All the best to you.